Special Olympics Strive Core is a measurement tool that provides athletes and coaches with a universal standard for athlete fitness. It is sponsored by Finish Line. Strive Core was designed to give coaches a quick and easy assessment that can be implemented into their current training program. This short program includes 5 assessments that measure the 4 characteristics of health-related physical fitness: body composition, flexibility, strength, and cardiorespiratory endurance. Most of the necessary components to conduct the Strive Core assessment will be included in the Strive Core kit. In addition, you will need a chair and a smartphone. Before beginning any fitness assessment, always make sure you warm up before you start. Now it's time to begin Special Olympics Strive Core, sponsored by Finish Line. Before you start the assessment, distribute a Strive Core assessment sheet to each athlete in order to facilitate data collection. Body Mass Index, also known as BMI, is the most commonly known field test to estimate body composition by assessing weight relative to height.
BMI is measured through a height and weight measurement put together. Today I have Mary, a Special Olympic athlete, to help me with that measurement. Prior to the assessment, you want to have the tape measure posted all the way affixed up onto a wall or a pole or a post of some sort. After you have everything set up, you'll have the athlete make sure their shoes are removed, and then you'll just have them step on up. They'll step up on the scale, and be sure the athlete is standing still before you record the weight. Next, you'll have the athlete step on over to the tape measure. You want the athlete to stand heels all the way up against the wall. Feet will be flat, shoulders back. Have them tuck their chin, looking straight ahead. You'll go ahead, take a hard surface such as a clipboard, drive it into the tape measure. Go ahead, have the athlete step away, and record their height.
The sit and reach test measures flexibility. Flexibility is the ability to move a joint throughout its complete range of motion. It directly influences athletic performance and the ability to perform activities of daily living. Athletes will do 3 trials of the sit and reach test, with all 3 trials recorded.
Here we're going to test the sit and reach. I have my friend Sam here, who is a Special Olympic athlete. Prior to testing the athlete, you want to set up your testing station. So one way to test this is to use a tape measure, or you'll use a piece of tape measuring out to 2 feet with each centimeter or inch marked out. Next, you'll place a piece of tape perpendicular at 9 inches or 23 centimeters. This will be the marker for your athlete. So Sam's going to go ahead. You'll instruct your athlete to sit up tall. Your heels are going to come right on the edge of that perpendicular piece of tape at 9 inches or 23 centimeters. Sam's already all set. What you'll instruct your athlete to do is sit up tall, keep their knees straight through the whole test. You'll have them cross their hands like a swimmer's pose. To complete the test, what you want to do is have the athlete run their hands as far as they can. Reach as far as they can. You'll place a clipboard or some marker, have the athlete relax, and you'll record the length that they reached.
Note there are improper ways to conduct this test, making the results invalid.
An improper way that your athlete may do just to reach longer is a bouncing movement. This would make the test invalid. So, athlete gets set. The bouncing movement looks as this. So he drives along the tape measure. Another improper way that would make this test invalid is if the athlete leans forward and the knees come up off the ground. So, go ahead.
The plank hold tests core stability and endurance of the athlete. The athlete will see how long they can hold a plank position for 60 seconds.
Here we're going to demonstrate the 60-second plank hold. So I have Michael here, a Special Olympic athlete, as well as Deontay, a finish line volunteer, to help me record and start the stopwatch. So go ahead, Michael, you're going to go down onto the ground. The athlete's feet are going to be hip width apart. Elbows are going to start right underneath the shoulders. From there, you're going to have the athlete lift up, and you want to make sure they have 3 points of contact with this dowel rod: the head, the upper back, and their butt or hip area. And you're just going to record as long as you can for 60 seconds.
There are incorrect positions for the plank hold. The dowel rod is used to determine incorrect positions. The sit and stand measures lower body endurance. The athlete stands in start position at chair and lowers down into seated position on chair and comes back up to start for 30 seconds.
The next station is a sit and stand station. I've got my friend Mary here, Special Olympic athlete, who will help demonstrate this. One thing you want to make sure with the athlete is their feet are hip width apart, so scoot your feet in just a little bit. There you go. Now what the athlete's going to do is they're going to sit down onto the chair, drive back up only using their legs, and back down, up and down for 30 seconds, as many as they can. Go ahead.
There are many ways to do the sit and stand incorrectly.
One way that would make this test invalid is if the athlete swings or uses other body parts to get up off the chair.
This test measures cardiorespiratory fitness by determining aerobic capacity, otherwise known as VO2 max. An app on a smartphone is used to conduct this test. It's well established that individuals with intellectual disabilities often have lower cardiorespiratory fitness level than their typically developing peers, which places this population at increased risk for cardiovascular disease.
The last and final station is the 20-meter shuttle run. I've got my friend Andrew here, Special Olympic athlete, who's going to help demonstrate this last and final station. The 20-meter shuttle run, you want the cones 20 meters a distance from each other. What you're going to do is I want you to go ahead, you're going to refer to the Strive guide for the laid out directions. Here I'm just going to kind of take you through it of how to run the test. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to instruct the athlete. The best way we found to instruct the athlete is to have them start at the start line, explain that they're going to run down to that cone, the set of cones. They're going to stay down there until they are signaled otherwise. So they're going to run down there, stay down there, watch for your signal to come back this way. Your signal is going to be on the beep or the program that we have programmed for you. So I've got it here. So we're going to do a practice run, and then we're going to do the real thing after that. Okay, so Andrew, we're going to run. The practice round is more for a pacing of the test. All right, ready? Okay, slow down. Okay, now here's the real thing. Remember, Andrew, you're going to wait for my signal. Once this beep goes off, then I'll signal you to come back. So you're just going to run down to that cone, wait for me to signal you to come back. You'll stay down here, and we'll keep going until you can't go anymore. Okay? All right? Ready? Go. Let's go 2 more. Go.
We have stopped the 20-meter shuttle run to explain the scoring of this test. There are several scenarios on the way the scoring can happen during this test. The first scenario is the athlete takes themselves out of the test because they feel they are too fatigued to keep going. And with that, the volunteer would look at the app and record the lap the athlete completed. The second way is as the athlete is growing more fatigued. For the lap to be valid, the athlete must come within 2 meters of the lines as the beep from the beep test app is going off. If the beep goes off prior to crossing the line, the athlete can still cross the line and turn and run to the other line prior to the next beep sounding. In other words, the athlete can miss crossing the line before the beep sounds and continue the test if they cross the line and immediately turn and run to the opposite line before the beep sounds. Once an athlete misses the beep twice or cannot continue, the scorer looks at the number of laps completed and records that number for the athlete. All data is entered into a custom-designed computer program called Snapper that provides Special Olympics coaches and researchers important information of the fitness level of Special Olympics athletes. But the work has just begun. Coaches, families, and athletes can now begin to exercise using Strive training cards from Coach's Corner to improve their overall performance in their chosen sports and become healthier and more fit while doing so. The best part about Strive Core is that the athlete can be retested after participating in a training program to assess their improvement, inspiring them to always strive for their personal best.